Okay, the Facebook's only live now too, so we'll call the regular meeting of the Nevada City Council to order, Monday, February 8th, 2021 at 6:05 p.m. Can we get a roll call, please?
Brian Hanson. Dane Hanson.
Here.
Sam Gary. Here. Liz Smith.
Here.
Here.
Our first item is the approval of the agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
Dane and Jason, any discussion on the agenda? Seeing none, council please vote. Assuming that was approved?
Oh, did you miss it? Yeah.
Well, it didn't pop up the votes for some reason. Okay,
Oh, yes.
sounds good. And agenda's approved. Moves us into the public hearing. The first one is wastewater treatment facility phase 2 project. So we'll go ahead and open that public hearing. Is anyone here to speak in the public hearing? Thank you, Karen. Did we have any comments? Okay, so we received no further comments. No one here is here to speak in the public hearing, so we will go ahead and close the public hearing. Moved to resolution number 65, 2020-2021, resolution approving plans and specifications, form of contract, and estimate of cost for the Nevada wastewater treatment facility improvements phase 2 project.
Move to approve.
Second. Jason and Barb. Discussion. Okay. And seeing once Karen gives us the signal, we'll go ahead and vote.
I don't have any lights. Oh, there they are.
And that's approved. Takes us to resolution number 66, 2020-2021, resolution awarding the contract for the Nevada wastewater treatment facility improvements phase 2 project.
Move to approve. Second.
Discussion.
Yes, please. I was just wondering, I see everything about Williams Brothers and appreciate the work that Mike's been doing on our behalf all the way along. Just wondering about out of state versus hometown story construction, whether that bid was far enough higher that we couldn't consider that, or whether, as in the case in phase 1, there was two companies that were very close, and they ended up being one ended up being a subcontractor for the other. Is that a possibility for the actual work to be done, so that some of those jobs can be homegrown Story County jobs?
I don't know what the percentage was between Williams Brothers and Story County. Mike would probably have it.
It's just shy of $3 million difference. And so percentage-wise, it's 8% higher than the bid.
I think ours is a 5%.
Okay, that was the other thing I didn't know. I couldn't remember if it was 5 or 10.
Yeah,
so that answers my question.
The state code for local preference is 5%.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That was a number I couldn't remember. Thank you very much. That's all I need.
Okay. Other discussion? Seeing none, council please vote. Approved. Takes us to the second public hearing, amend chapter 66.05, load limit restrictions, truck routes. Open that public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak on that public hearing? Thought so. Karen, did anyone submit comment for the second public hearing? No comments received. Nobody here to speak in the public hearing, so we'll close the public hearing. Move to ordinance number 1016, 2020, 2021. Amending chapter 66, load and restrictions.
Move to approve.
Second.
Jason, Sandy, discussion?
How do we enforce it?
There's a question about how you enforce it. I don't know if that,
Is it something you pay attention now, chief, to truck routes and load limits? Do we? I mean, are we gonna, some guys running over the median on our new Main Street with a truck that shouldn't be there? Do we write them a citation, or, I mean, is that what we're gonna, is that what? Does this empower you guys, so to speak, to do that?
We have ordinances in effect now that cover that. The difficulty we have is anybody can see the damage that's done, but having to know who actually did it.
No, well, I meant like if he's sitting, I'll pick on him. Andrew sees someone cutting the corner, then we can pull him over and.
Find out what's going on and why they're there, and we can investigate that. And then, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about the truck routes, and the idea behind them is any trucks that are supposed to go through town have to follow those truck routes to do that. The downside to that is if someone's gonna make a delivery in a residential area that isn't a truck route, they certainly have the right to go there and make that delivery.
Right.
So, see those things or get complaints about those things, we can certainly take a look at that and see what kind of enforcement action we can take.
I know it was kind of a broad question, but
Yeah. That's okay. I mean, if we're gonna follow up on something and do it in kind of investigation, you know, we gotta have some basis to go on it.
okay.
Certainly if an officer sees something that's not normal, like jumping over a curb, and that's.
Okay.
And then Jeremy and his crew, they're pretty good about letting us know if they see any violators out there, particularly now with snow ordinance, things like that. You know, we'll take any action that needs to be done.
Also with this, I've contacted the DOT and I've got a couple of websites that I can go to and kind of get the new truck routes out to the like Garmin and those places like that. So hopefully, those guys are just following their GPS. Usually that's just telling them how to get through a town they've never been to. And the more we can get that out, the less likely they will be to turn on signal.
So are we gonna put some new signage up or anything? Is that part of this too?
So then, well, no, I'm playing with the route because I am just directionally impaired. And so I had to like draw a picture. So if somebody is coming north on S14, they're going to go west on Maple, according to what we're approving, west on Maple, north on Airport Road, West 18th, back east on Lincoln Highway, and then north on S14. So they avoid the overpass that will someday be there altogether, which wouldn't get them on 6th Street at all. And that seems very strong to me, except that, yeah, how is there going to be a sign at S14 and Maple saying truck route? Yeah, that way. Yeah, okay. And then if we can get their GPS to work too, that would be awesome. But yeah, I think it's a really strong statement and it'd get folks to where they need to get on and off of an eventual interpass, and yeah, not the overpass, the other one, interchange. But yeah, I thought that really looked like a strong effort.
I think that GPS thing, I didn't know you could do that. That's
cool.
A cool idea. We can help direct them in the right way, because how many trucks now go up E Avenue and cut around by the Parks and Rec garage and run over all that stuff on that
We'll get rid of some of
median?
that too.
Yeah. All right, thanks.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, council, please vote. Passes. I believe is the first reading, so it'll come back 2 more times. Takes us to the consent agenda. Any item may be removed for separate consideration.
Move to approve.
Second.
Dane and Brian, discussion on consent agenda. Okay, seeing none, council, please vote. No.
Blame it on Larry.
Oh, it looks like it's missing someone's vote.
Yeah, we're still missing.
Okay,
There we go.
everybody.
Missed the goal.
Okay, that is approved. Takes us to appointments, and we had a vacancy in the library board for a non-resident member. Tim McLaughlin has applied. He wasn't able to attend tonight, I believe, with a scout commitment. So you'll have his application in front of you, and we will be looking for approval.
I'll move to approve.
Brian and Barb, any discussion? And seeing none, council, please vote. That is approved. Takes us into the public forum. The first item is swearing in of new Police Sergeant Andrew Henderson. So I don't know if the director wants to kick us off, and then we'll do the formal swearing in.
Good evening. This is, I've been wanting to create another position for sergeant for quite a while now. Been thinking about this for, couldn't figure out the right timing, but the problem became exacerbated when I lost an officer in August, September, and October. And when with Josie gone and with the youthfulness of my staff, I get concerned about, we have a staffing issue, we don't have an extra body, and we don't have somebody that they work with, and I don't have a supervisor because they're filling it. So with going through the hiring process right now, I thought this would be a good time to make that third sergeant, and Andrew's a great choice. I think he's a great officer, does a great job for us and our detectives, and kind of the go-to guy. So I did a little list of some things that he's done. Of course, this is one of the assignments he had to do before I came here tonight. So Andrew and his family moved here in 2012. He became a first responder with the fire department in 2013. We hired him in 2015. He became our detective in 2018. I wish I could say he's been a detective the whole time, but he's had to fill in on shifts, because of our staff. Currently, some of the assignments that he has is he's one of our field training officers. He's a certified driving instructor. He's a TASER instructor, and he does a lot of our arson investigations along with Ray. One of the biggest aspects that we have with Andrew right now is that he's a certified forensic computer examiner. So the gift that we got from one of our businesses, $15,000 for a laptop, and right, is great, because I didn't anticipate buying one of these for another couple of years. But in today's society, being able to take somebody's phone and dump everything off of it and find out where they've been at, what they've been doing, what their communications are, there's no limit to the amount of use it for when we're dealing with criminal investigations. So it used to be we'd send it down to the state, we could get it back in 2 months, 4 months, just kind of depends when they get to it. And whenever we would find somebody that could do it more locally, again, it would take a long time to get that. Sometimes that's all we have to work on, and when it gets there, we can do something. Now we just have Andrew can do that, and saves takes it back. So the flip side is that is everybody else is coming in and wanting him to do the same thing we used to. I named off some of the things that he does, but one of the more important things I think that's not on this list is he's sort of like a pseudo liaison with the school. He's got 3 kids. He interacts with the schools all the time, and he's got good relationships there. And you can't put a price on that. That's really important when we're trying to interact with the public as much as possible. And he does a great job for us, and he does really good in that area. This is a great promotion for him. I think it's going to be a benefit for us in the long run, and our people will benefit from that. So,
That's all I got here.
Sounds good. Okay.
Okay.
So please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Amy Anderson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa
and the City Code of Nevada, Iowa,
and the City Code of Nevada, Iowa.
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
I'll faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties of the office of Police Sergeant
discharge all the duties of the office of Police Sergeant
for the City of Nevada, Iowa,
for the City of Nevada, Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
is now hereafter required by law.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. So that takes us back to the public forum. Is there anyone else here to speak in the public forum? Okay. Seeing none. Karen, did anyone indicate in advance they intended to speak? Okay. Then we'll go ahead and close the public forum. Moving to old business, there's resolution number 69, 2020-2021, a resolution to authorize the filing of a sponsored project application. Second request with the Iowa Department of Natural Resources and the Iowa Finance Authority State Revolving Fund for the City of Nevada, Iowa.
Move to approve.
Second.
Hey, Jason and Sandy. I do know we have some HR Green folks online. I don't know if any of you intended to add anything tonight, but I'll give the opportunity before we move on.
Thank you, Madam Council. This is Sandy Green. I don't have anything to add if there are no questions from the council.
Jordan, does this cover the creek all the way through town? Jordan?
I'm sorry.
Sandy?
Could you repeat that question? I'm sorry.
Sorry, does this include the creek all the way through town?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, then seeing none, council please vote. And that is approved. Takes us to item B, approved pay request number 2 for the wastewater treatment facility phase 1 from Mount Hope Excavating LLC, in the amount of $92,468.13.
Move to approve. Second.
Okay, Luke and Dane, discussion? Seeing none, council please vote. Is approved. Takes us to C, discussion appropriate follow-up regarding emergency measures during COVID-19 pandemic and previous resolution number 47C, 2020-2021, so our regular 30-day review of our COVID response. Marlis did say she was hoping to get local numbers today, but I know Story County Public Health has been a little bit slower because they've been dealing with getting the vaccine out, and so they haven't been quite as quick on getting us the numbers when passed, but but we do have the Story County wide number at, she said it was 6.3% today.
I'm good with keeping everything the way we got it right now. I don't think we see a big change one way or another yet, so.
And Tim did ask me about what, like with Park and Rec with the facilities, if they should make any changes. I said, my opinion was unless you felt differently, but just keep doing what they've been doing. Okay.
We're trending good, so let's just keep going. We're trending in the right direction, so let's just keep going.
Yep. Okay, we'll go ahead and close that item, move to new business A, resolution number 70, 2020-2021, resolution to approve Johnson Controls sales agreement for Breville services at the water plant.
Second.
Okay, Jason, Luke, discussion. Okay, seeing none, council, please vote. Okay, that is approved. Takes us to B, resolution number 71, 2020-2021, resolution to renewal upgrade agreement with Mediacom to provide internet services.
Second.
Brian, discussion?
This was our best option, Jordan. I know you said you've been shopping around.
Yeah, this was definitely, yeah, it was. HR Green did a really good job with getting everything, all their homework with all the groups for it as well. Or not HR Green, sorry, Sean Wilson. My apologies.
Other discussion? Okay. Seeing none, council, please vote.
Megan Machard and Lisa King.
That is approved. Takes us to new business C, resolution number 72, 2020-2021, resolution approving the amendment to the comprehensive development plan.
Second.
Standing Barb, discussion. Seeing none, council, please vote. That is approved. Takes us to D, approve both addendums to the Suez Water Utility Service Group contract for water tower maintenance to include pressure washed exteriors in between paintings.
Was it approved?
Second.
Okay, Luke, and was that Brian?
Yep.
Okay, Luke and Brian. Discussion. It's looking kind of bad, so.
What did you say?
One of the water towers is looking pretty bad, so.
That one, that's the one we're gonna get done in 2021, right?
Yeah, that will be clean
Okay.
this summer, yeah.
So we often paint how often, and so we washed every like 4 years?
The painting should take place the following summer, so summer of '22 is when the next painting should take place.
Okay.
Looking in this paperwork here.
Might be 23. I know that I had to call them several times and get it updated because they forgot to add stuff in it.
I wonder if it's in part because of the trains. You know, it might not just, because it looks sooty as well as like mildewy.
Yeah.
But, they're right underneath there all the time. And a lot of traffic, dust, all that stuff. That one has probably more traffic by it than the other one.
With the white color underneath, they do show the mildew a lot quicker, so the next time they're both repainted, we might want to consider doing something different.
Right.
Paint it mildew green.
Start mildew color.
We had that discussion
We did.
when we build those first, that they said even light blue, white, is gonna get dirty quicker. The darker colors fade faster. So it's pick your poison.
It was only the Cub Paw, and we talked about making it purple.
White, yeah. Yeah, I guess when we get ready to paint, we can revisit paint.
And
Was the least expensive, I think, too. The colors I thought cost a lot more. Not maybe a lot, but cost more.
it doesn't specifically say in this contract, but they're supposed to do it every other year. For the-
Okay, but it says, okay, the second one, And maybe they made a typographical error. Number 6 says you'll receive your first pressure wash in 2021 at no charge.
Yeah.
But then at the top, it says one pressure wash of tank exterior will be performed between every exterior painting with the first wash planned for 2029.
Correct. This one is just for the water plant, though.
Okay, well, yeah, I understand that, but, so they're not, I understand that the two towers are not
Yeah.
on the same schedule, but
Right.
if we're gonna go from 2021 to 2029 with washers, then the painting must be in the middle, like in 2024 or something?
That's what I was.
Okay,
looking
that was
for.
my assumption, but-
Be the following year, but it's, yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense, okay.
And on the other contract, that's where it says 2022.
Well, yeah. And I know they want on the same schedule.
Yeah, you look at number 1 on.
I think what Barb's getting at is we should get the UP to help pay, is what you're saying.
Well, it just, I
Good
mean,
luck with that.
Well, no, I,
it just seems like that's, you know,
It gets dirtier than this one.
yes, it does. And I think it's not just because
That's why
of,
we get to see that one closer because we drive by it, where you don't.
well,
drive
and lots of people drive by it, both the trains and the cars. A lot more
Yeah.
traffic than 8th Street.
But that one, I think it's been touched up more recently, or cleaned or something.
Do you know when the last time that was cleaned and
8th Street was done last, wasn't it?
the water plant one? Ever?
Line 1?
8th Street
Last
was,
time when it was painted and that was kind of the cleaning.
I don't either.
It's probably right in between because the 8th Street one went first for paint. And then a few years later it came out to do the Union Highway.
Jane through.
So it probably was painted like 4 or 5 years ago and that's why it looks so bad.
Yeah, weren't they late? I mean, like, they didn't get to it in the fall?
So that was, I wasn't on council when that one came up. So that would have been, I think, 2015 when that was repainted.
There you go.
Okay, any other discussion on that?
Negative.
Seeing none, council please vote. Okay, and that is approved. Takes us to E, resolution number 73, 2020-2021, resolution approving a fuel sharing agreement with the Nevada Community School District in the city of Nevada.
Move to approve.
second,
Hey, Dane and Ryan? Discussion? If that school transportation act can cut us a few more cents off or not. Okay, any discussion? So please vote. Okay, that's approved. Takes us to reports, starting with city administrator.
I drove in on Friday. I don't have anything unless you guys have questions for me regarding anything in the report or any other type of projects that we have going on in the city.
Are we getting our, kind of our frontline employees vaccinated at all?
That's probably, I believe all of them are, but like Ray and, yeah. Rick, can you speak on?
Well, as far as the police department goes, the EMTs, most of them have elected to get the shots. Same with the fire department, got the shot, some haven't. Available, they just gotta wait until they get a call or they can line up an appointment, that sort of thing. So, I said that we're way down on the list to get the vaccination. It's unfortunate because I think
I think that's right, it's fine, but
we have a good mechanism to get the vaccine out, but they will probably have more information than that.
Ray, if you're able to hear, Luke was asking about the first responders getting vaccinated.
Yeah, is that a question for me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, it's a little muffled, sorry. Yeah, we have offered it as a voluntary basis. A number of our I would say we probably have 12 to 15 staff that have been vaccinated.
And the Story County emergency management folks, everyone involved in that, have been trying to get wastewater and water operators added because of the uniqueness of their certifications, and so far the state has not budged on that. But I sent a letter first, and then the commission sent one a few days later. I got a response. I don't know if the commission did yet, but every city in the county signed a letter asking for water and wastewater operators to have the option.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay. Other questions for Jordan?
I got asked about the gas stations again.
Well, we've warned them several times about the sidewalks and plowing their drives, but that's about as far as we've gotten. Ray has talked to the owner several times, and he has reassured us that they are working on getting things going. Jeremy has let me know that they have been updating the one in Jefferson, so there is some progress there. Unfortunately, there's just not progress here in Nevada right now. So that's something that we can probably do a little bit more research on, whether or not they're going to start in Nevada. But last I knew, and Ray, please correct me if I'm wrong, but last I knew, they're still waiting to get their tags from DNR so they can start serving gas again.
And that's something too that I asked the PD to stay on them about any nuisance issues to make sure that they have to comply with that just like any other homeowner business. So I know that they have been dealing with sidewalks and things like that.
Yeah, with the last 2 snowstorms, they were issued citations.
Yeah, because they're not,
They signed them.
the one this way is not clearing.
It's not. I know I can reach out to Ray and asked for, I think it was Ray, asked for different contractors. And I believe they just said, if you just Google contractors, there's some that will come up in the neighborhood. So I know that they were trying to find contractors to plow the drives. I just don't know if they ended up finding anyone. It doesn't look like they did, but.
I can have that done tomorrow. If you need a contractor to do it, I know. I mean, that was on my. Go ahead, sorry, Ray.
Yeah, we gave them a list of contractors to do it, and the first big snow, they didn't do it. And then they did hire Jack Vincent for 1 sidewalk plowing, and we haven't seen anything since then. They're already 2 citations in.
That was my next question. I probably should know that, Sean. That might be more for Sean. How long do we wait before we clear someone's sidewalks?
It's a reasonable amount of time. Generally, we wait about 48 hours.
Well, and why I asked was 0 degrees today, and I picked a couple kids walking up to school. I mean, whatever, but both of these kids walk across town, they told me, and they said by the time, he goes, they both said to me, nobody on Lincoln Way cleans their sidewalks. They said by the time we get to school, we're wet and we're cold. They're not fortunate enough to have their parents take them to school. And so I drove up and down Lincoln Way a couple times and with these kids in my car and they said, yeah, that's never done. He said, so I mean, it's coming from young kids that have to walk, and it's like, they're right, and it just kind of aggravated me a little. Especially when you hear, there's some kids that have to walk. There's nothing we can do about that. Nothing their parents can do about it. Besides trying to get them to dress appropriately. But, I said to one kid, I said, don't you have another pair? Well, it's the only pair of shoes I have, so I have to walk in the snow, and I got to wear them all day, and I'm cold and wet till noon. So that was kind of and that whole White Oak thing was part of it, because it's never plowed either,
Well, it was temporarily, at least, a used car lot at one point 3 or 4 weeks ago before the cold and all the snow set in. People were putting vehicles on the corner with for sale signs in the front window. And
I also noticed there was a truck there. I want to say it was last week. they're picking up, I don't know if they're picking up the propane tanks or what, but they were doing something because they were loading stuff in the back of the truck. So I know that there's some activity, and that was on the one East Lincoln, not the one on West.
Yeah.
And I'd asked too that when Ray talked to the owner to make sure he relayed how the significant displeasure of the mayor and the council and the significant public pressure for the issue. So I'm sure next time he talks to them, he can probably let them know that they were a significant discussion item again at a city council meeting.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much support they'll have when they come to town.
Yeah. Probably not much.
We watched, we walk Lincoln Way quite a bit, and it's just, the parking is very narrow. Our right-of-way is very narrow. It takes, I could make a splash onto the sidewalk driving by if there's any amount of snow at all. And I think it's hard. It's different than in our, like on the 8th Street neighborhood. The plow drivers have to work really hard to get it clear up to my front door. When accomplished in a little while. but I think it's tough to keep it because of that very small right of way, especially on the south side. And so I've watched people try to struggle in the block between between 7th and 8th. I've watched those, except for the diaper house. People struggle to try to keep it open, and it's just hard. So, and it's been getting hard so fast after it snowed this time.
Anything else for Jordan? Okay, then for my report, I don't have a whole lot. You may have seen the official announcement on the Dollar Fresh store went out, so you can find that and share that. Otherwise, Leadership Nevada was today, and it was a city session, so we did basically the same type of tour we did for the city administrator candidates, where we did a caravan with them listening to Missouri and got out at the various departments, and then we had a panel here at the end with, so Brian and Sandy represented the council, and then we had a member of planning and zoning, library board, and park board to talk about what the various boards and commissions do and all the volunteer opportunities at the city. Otherwise, do you have any questions for me? Okay. Council reports. Okay. I know we've normally been doing the community coffee, so I don't know if anyone has interest in pulling one off in February, but with us having a newborn in the house, I haven't made that a focus to have one in February. So if you guys want to do one or have a topic you want to cover, we can always add it.
I was going to ask if we had any interest in doing them in person at gatherings like we were pre-COVID. I mean, as long as, again, we're able to spread out and whatnot and mask up. But I don't know if I'm the only one who wants to do that or if there's any other council members that would want to. I think we're doing the second Saturday before.
Mm-hmm. I think, my opinion at this point is to wait a couple more months and see what vaccination rates are doing.
Maybe I'll just post on Facebook, come see me at Farm Grounds. Just a guy.
For me, knowing most of the people that come are in the 65 plus population, I'd feel better about doing it when all of them have had the opportunity to get vaccinated themselves. Inside group is down, I feel more comfortable. Any other council reports? Okay. Before I forget, we'll go back to Ray since he's online.
Yeah, busy week this week. We had a major structure fire, as you've read about. Have some really good residents that provided a lot of preliminary assistance that should be credited for their true acts of heroism. The other thing I wanted to bring up is we've had 3 really critical medical calls, and a credit to Director Martinez in thinking outside the box with police officers being EMTs. Our EMT police officers have been doing some pretty amazing things. Today we had a police officer utilize a tourniquet to stop bleeding. And so they're really taking it to hold and doing a great job, and it's really supplementing I was commenting on one of our critical calls. We had 4 paramedics and 4 EMTs on scene. So that's pretty good for a combination public safety department. Other than that, that's really all I have.
That's right. And I think too, knowing some of the stories as we did the tour today from both Andrew Anderson at the PD and from Fire, drives home, I think the success we've had with the public sector, their ability to do some of those things is pretty incredible in my opinion. So I'm glad that's been a success story for us.
Thank you.
Okay, and we'll go to Jeremy and we'll have everybody go up to the mic for reports so they can hear a little better.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Talk about the wastewater plant. Harold's stepped in and taken the lead at the wastewater plant. He's been dealing with a lot of stuff down there. We've been getting a lot of crap, pardon the pun, but he's been doing a great job at it. I really want to say kudos to Harold. With the water department, they're doing, everyday maintenance. I got a water break to fix on Wednesday. We're going to fix it today, but it went back underground, so we don't know for sure where it's at. Sean's going to have the leak detector come in to find it for sure. And the street guys are, I don't know, it seems like we're in at 3 o'clock every day plowing or doing treating. So that's about all I have. Does anybody got any questions?
How are we doing on our hiring?
It's posted.
Posted. Any applicants?
For which, the wastewater?
Yeah, wastewater.
3, I think, right?
I think we've had 3 before and then the one that just came in. So 4 total, 3 from the first round, 1 from this one. There was another person that reached out that was planning on putting in the resume, but I don't know unless you've gotten it at all.
I have not gotten it. It was hard. It was, the biggest thing is the unknown, the salary, the unknown salary. And I think it helped knowing.
We changed that to.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we've changed it. So. And the streets job is posted to the public. I think Thursday it got posted.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Director Martinez.
First of all, I want to say that I think Jeremy and his crew do a great job on the streets. It's really nice to go out on the streets, and we're going to have snow, we're going to have ice, but I think he does a really good job and getting his people out at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I know that's a sacrifice, but when people can get out there and we don't have as many accidents because people can get around, that's really good to see. I don't have anything other than my report. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them for you.
That's anything for Rick.
Thank you.
Okay, go over to Karen.
Just been working with the union stuff and trying to get ready for that, and sent you all an email today about our new insurance. She's anticipating, they're anticipating a big jump in our insurance rates. So we won't know, obviously, for a couple months yet what that actually will be, but really planning on that, so we'll see what it is and we need to. They're talking about all the claims with derecho and all this. Or other cities say the same thing.
Thanks, Karen. We'll go to Sean.
I've got nothing else. Just my report. If you guys got any questions.
Thanks. Thanks, Sean. Aaron?
Nothing for me.
Okay. Council, anything before we? Oh. Sorry.
It's okay.
Didn't recognize you sitting there behind the mask.
I know, yeah. I just had a few things I wanted to bring you up to speed on. We did have a meeting with the Iowa DOT last week to start to coordinate the trunk main sewer, force main sewer that's going to come out of the old wastewater treatment plant to the new one. We wanted to coordinate that alignment with what the DOT is doing with S14, the overpass that they're planning on building in a couple of years from now. So we had some pretty good talks with them. We shared some files back and forth. We'll talk a lot more about it tomorrow in the steering committee meeting and kind of talk about how we might change our thinking on a few things or not. I think Larry sent, Sean, I think he sent you a portion of a public sewer main that Burke Corporation had built that they're ready to have the city accept. So I'm assuming at some point that'll probably come to council for consideration. So I just wanted to bring you up to speed on that. And then finally, Mike Roth asked if I could get the notice of award signed tonight and brought back to him so he could get that started first thing tomorrow. So that's not too much to ask. It would be great. So thank you.
Council, anything for Casey? Thank you.
You bet.
Okay, and anything before we adjourn? Okay, seeing none?
Move to adjourn.
Second. Dane and Barb, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. We are adjourned. Thanks, everyone.